find something out. Sonia, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could like live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble, when it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. Mm-hmm. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Ten seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable, gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
Five, 3.
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw!
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for a Friday night, a very, very busy Friday night. We are glad you are with us. It is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. We're in the Health Plan Studios. I'm Kyle Wiggs. Greg Hunter is here. Brad Howe is going to join us from Hope Coliseum in a moment, get a preview of WVU and UCF. That's an 8 o'clock tip-off. Mountaineer women tipping things off here inside of a half hour or so in the Big 12 tournament against upstart Arizona State. So there'll be a familiar face on the court with the Sun Devils, with Fairmont's Marley Washnitz, who has already come to the Coliseum this year. So we've got that and Mountaineer baseball to talk about as well. Greg, good evening.
Good evening, Kyle. Yeah, boy, is it a night or a whole day with an incredible amount of material.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to go over the receiver room. We promised a texter we'd do that tonight, so we'll work that in. Let's start with the baseball game. It was a rough one. Beautiful day for baseball, 72 and sunny.
Yeah, just on my way over here, it was still 68 at that point, but what an afternoon for a home baseball game in West Virginia. You never know what you're going to get in early March, but they got a good one.
West Virginia struggled, though, as starter Dawson Montesa. Columbia had a big inning in the second, took a 5-0 lead, and West Virginia could never catch up. They chased them, trailed the entire contest, made it close, had the tying run at the plate on a couple of occasions, had an instance in one inning where they lost 2 runners on the base paths, including a player that got picked off second base by the catcher for the final out. So it was just one of those days, and Columbia out-hits West Virginia 10-5, and Columbia beats West Virginia 7-4.
Yeah, and West Virginia's got great starting pitchers throughout most of the season, and certainly Montesa has been at the lead of that, but today wasn't necessarily one of those. As you said, 5 runs by the Lions early in this game in a single inning, got them out to an early lead, and then West Virginia's offense, which has produced double-digit runs in many games this year, never able to stack things together. And you said a few different base running situations, also getting caught with a attempted steal of home. Those wiped out some potentials as well. So one of those days for West Virginia. You know, we know in baseball when you got as many games as they play, you're going to have those. They come back again. One more game tomorrow, one more game on Sunday, hopefully to right the ship.
All right, so we'll hear from head coach Steve Sabins, his post-game thoughts coming up a little bit later on in the program. West Virginia falls at home to Columbia 7-4, and the Mountaineers are 8-3 on the year. All 3 pitchers that appeared for West Virginia in the game gave up runs. Again, Montesa, 5 runs allowed on 5 hits, walked 3, struck out 5 in 4 innings. Ian Korn came in and allowed a run, and Reese Bassinger finished up. He allowed a run as well. So Columbia wins it, game 1 of the series over West Virginia. Columbia is just their second win of the year. They beat the Mountaineers by a final of 7-4.
Yep, one of those days. Like I said, West Virginia now looks to bounce back. Actually, their second straight loss. If you go back to last weekend and the come from behind that Kennesaw State had against West Virginia down in Georgia. So we'll hear some, if we have time, from Steve Sabins. He had his post-game comments. Haven't listened to him yet, but I'm certain they aren't exactly enthusiastic with the way his team played.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Also today, of course, all the games on Metro News TV, the Mountain East Conference postseason tournament. It's men's quarterfinal day up in Wheeling, and Fairmont State had a nice comeback today. Fairmont State, the 2nd seed, defeated Frostburg State 80-77. And the number 6 seed defeated number 3 seed Wheeling 96-70. 71. So those are the two games that are in the books, just tipping off right now. West Liberty against Davis and Elkins. West Liberty's the number 1 seed. Then the 4-5 game tonight, University of Charleston against Glenville State. Women's semifinals begin at noon tomorrow. Glenville State against Fairmont State. Then Frostburg State against the University of Charleston. The men's semifinals are Saturday night in Wheeling, with both championship games coming up on Sunday. So again, if you're interested in that, you can head to the Metro News TV app. There are recaps of the games at wvmetronews.com, but you can watch all the games live on the Metro News television app.
Go ahead. You mentioned earlier West Virginia's women getting underway. 2 quarterfinal games already in the books in Kansas City. 12-seed Kansas State has really been on fire lately. They get a 74-73 victory over Oklahoma State. K-State is, as a 12-seed, the lowest seed ever to get through to the semifinals on the women's side. Give the Wildcats a lot of credit. Other semifinal, not a surprise there. TCU took care of business against BYU, number 1 seed in the Horned Frog. So, as you said, what time we got right now? We're about 18 minutes away from West Virginia tipping off against Arizona State, which has pulled off a little bit of an upset itself to get to this juncture.
Arizona State beat rival Arizona in the first round and then knocked off Iowa State last night. So Arizona State's warmed up. They've played 2 games in 2 days, and then, of course, you got the Mountaineers playing their first game of the tournament coming up.
And that is something we found out yesterday in what was the second round. 3 of the 4 victors in the second round yesterday were teams that played on day one. Only one that had the day off. The rest didn't necessarily help the others. One that had the day off got a victory. The other 3 used the opportunity to play early, get their feet wet, and moved on. So we'll see if that impacts the quarterfinals tonight. As, like I said, 1-1 in those so far. Oklahoma State getting the loss, but then TCU with the easy victory. And then West Virginia, Arizona State in the last game of the evening at T-Mobile Center, Baylor and Colorado. The West Virginia, Arizona State winner will meet the Buffs and Baylor winner Saturday evening.
Let's bring aboard real quick Daniel Woods from Wheeling, get a recap of these MEC games while he's got a moment. And Daniel, good evening.
Good evening.
Nice comeback for Fairmont State in the second half against Frostburg State today.
That it was. Frostburg State really controlled that game for at least the first 30 minutes, if not more. But Fairmont State just turned it on late and was able to get some defensive stops really when they needed it, and then were able to convert in the paint. Frostburg State had a chance in the final minutes of that game, really final seconds of that game is what I should say. Trey Simmons, the conference player of the year, got into the lane, got a good look at the rim, and just couldn't finish it. Nice play defensively from Zychaeus Dobbs for Fairmont State, who, of course, was a great player at Fairmont Senior. And it really was the defense tightening up for Fairmont State that got the job done at the end for them to advance.
Daniel, game 2 of the session today. Concord, I mean, again, just following the score, Concord just came out on fire and never looked back.
That's the best I've seen Concord play this season, and that's a really talented team for Coach Todd May. Luke Wiggs had the stat on that game that Todd May, coming into today, in 9 appearances in the MEC tournament as the head coach at Concord, had won at least 1 game in the tournament 7 times. Well, now he's done it 8 times in 10 tries. And they came out and just absolutely were in Wheeling's face from the jump. And Boubacar Djigo is, frankly, maybe my favorite player to watch in this conference. He ends up with 24 points and 16 rebounds. He's the conference defensive player of the year, but he's a whole lot more than a shot blocker. And he really powered Concord to that win. Had quite a few highlights that I imagine folks will be seeing online here before long.
So tonight you got West Liberty, the top seed. That game underway, correct?
Yes, they're on the floor now. Still in the early going between them and Davis and Elkins.
Okay, and then the nightcap coming up tonight, University of Charleston against Glenville State, the 4-5 game. Give us a thumbnail of that one real quick.
I'm excited to see that one because this Charleston team, I think, on a pure pound-for-pound talent perspective, is up there with the best teams in this conference, and I think has a really nice chance to make a deep run and improve their NCAA tournament resume. They've got the conference's leader in field goal percentage in Thomas Haley, who shoots nearly 70% from the field, and then Braden Chapman, who folks will remember from his career at Shady Spring, runs the point for them. He's really the straw that stirs the drink for that team. And then Glenville State has maybe the best tandem of guards in this conference. Elijah Redfern from Woodrow Wilson. For Coach Bob Bolin, he has dipped into his Raleigh County ties. And Elijah Redfern has turned into one of the most well-rounded players in this league. And then he's joined by Jalen Knott, who's a prolific three-point shooter for this Glenville State program. Both of those guys can fill it up. Throw in Amar Maxwell from Shady Spring. You're going to have a couple of former state champion teammates in him and Braden Chapman going head-to-head tonight. It's shaping up to be a pretty fun one.
Thoughts on the women's semis tomorrow? First of all, if Glenville State goes on and wins this as the top seed, is this a one-bid league? Is there anyone on the women's side that has a chance to get an at-large?
My expectation with how the bracket has fallen so far is that would be the case. Now, the University of Charleston, I do think, has an interesting case as the 3 seed in this tournament. West Virginia Wesleyan, the 2 seed, was upset yesterday by Frostburg State. I think Charleston, if they get to Sunday, could make things interesting when it comes to the selection process for the D2 national tournament, but I would lean probably in the direction of it being a one-bid league if Glenville State goes on and is the automatic qualifier.
So Glenville against Fairmont tomorrow in the women's semis at noon, then Frostburg State against the University of Charleston. Those games are tomorrow. Tonight on Metro News TV right now, West Liberty against Davis and Elkins, and then tonight Charleston against Glenville State in the in the men's quarterfinal round. All right, Daniel, good job covering this, and we'll be watching. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Daniel Woods there of Metro News, calling the games on radio and television up in Wheeling.
Yeah, and they're moving this thing along as they head towards Sunday's championships.
We'll take a break. We're going to talk some football. We'll get into the receivers. Let's see, we've broken down quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers, all the important positions on offense, right?
We'll get to the really important one here very soon because there's a lot to talk about in the offensive line, but we'll look at receivers tonight.
We'll take a break. The CityNet statewide sports line. When it comes to cybersecurity, blind trust is a bad idea. CityNet helps businesses avoid risky connections with proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert local support. Learn more at citynet.net today. Post-game thoughts from WVU Baseball coach Steve Sabins. Mountaineers got beat today by Columbia. We'll keep you updated on the women's game when they start against Arizona State here in just a couple of minutes when we return, gearing up for spring football. That's all to come. We're in the Health Plan Studios. This is the CityNet statewide sports line.
WVU Medicine Nephrology is committed to providing advanced kidney care at its primary location in Morgantown's Suncrest Town Center and also at outreach sites in Buchanan, Clarksburg, Elkins, Fairmont, Flatwoods, Grafton, Kaiser, Moorfield, and Summersville in West Virginia and Oakland, Maryland. Our expert team of nephrologists use the latest diagnosis and treatment methods. Call 855-WVU-CARE or visit wvumedicine.org/nephrology.
The Mountain East Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament presented by the Health Plan is back at Wheeling's Westbanco Arena, March 4th through the 8th. Past men's basketball national finalists West Liberty and Fairmont State, and 2022 women's basketball national champion Glenville State will be featured from the highest scoring NCAA Division II basketball conference in the country. Visit westbancoarena.com for advanced tickets and Tournament Central at mountaineast.org for tournament information, stories, results, event schedule, streaming, and television broadcast information. Join us for the Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships presented by the Health Plan, March 4th through the 8th at Westbanco Arena in Wheeling.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me this weekend at the 24th Annual Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of shopping, all under one roof. Huge savings on everything outdoors, plus great prizes and seminars. And kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. The state's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show is back this Saturday and Sunday at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
Hardwood Heat meets the Mountain State in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Girls High School Basketball State Championships, presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 14th. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at WVMetroNewsTV.com to get in the action.
CityNet statewide Sportsline. We've got a lot to come. Brad Howe from the Coliseum, a preview of West Virginia UCF. Post-game from WVU Baseball coach Steve Sabins. Mountaineers lose today to Columbia, but spring football practice begins tomorrow.
Yes, it does.
And it's going to be 80 degrees.
Hard to believe. I've often said some of the coldest days of my life have been spent out covering spring practice. So 80 degrees tomorrow. Now, it is not open to public or media tomorrow, so I won't get to enjoy the nice weather. By the time maybe they open some later in the spring, it'll be back down into the 20s. But tomorrow, the first one isn't open. But, you know, this is just such a fascinating spring for me in so many ways. And, I mean, every spring has storylines, but because of all the new faces across the board, this one has as many as I remember position-wise. And that includes the wide receiver position.
Completely rebuilt receiver.
Yeah, and some of it is have to. A couple of guys, and Rodney Gallagher and Cam Vaughn transferred out. A couple others have graduated. Jaden Bray was going to be a very important part of last year's wide receiver room, but he was injured first half at Ohio, only played in a game and a half. He is the most significant of the returnees. There are two other guys that saw a little bit of action last year, but who do return. But it was minimal. Cyrus Straw, Parkersburg South grad, was the receiver of the year a couple years ago for Park South. So after 2 years at Youngstown, he's transferred to West Virginia. Spent here some time here last year, or he played in a couple games last year, but minimal. But he's obviously going to try to up that usage rate this year. And then Greg Wilford, is a true freshman. But West Virginia has some guys at the high end of the transfer portal list that the Mountaineers are desperately going to need to be able to be players. DJ Epps is the most experienced of those. He comes from Troy, where he went from a guy who hardly played his first few years at Troy to leading the team in receptions last year. Think of him more as a slot. I probably get caught up too much on who's a slot, who's a wide receiver. Get your best 4 or 5 receivers and let them figure it out. But Epps is certainly going to be important because of his usage rate in the past. Then you got 2 really intriguing transfers coming in who are a little bit different in terms of their past experience. Prince Strachan, a native of the Bahamas, started his career at Boise, transferred last year to USC, but because of an injury, played very little for the Trojans last year. 6'5", 211. So big receiver, but we're still sort of waiting. He had a good second season at Boise, but you were waiting for him to explode at USC, never really got that opportunity. And then a kid that was a 5-star receiver a couple years ago coming out of Edna Carr High School in New Orleans, Taryn Francis, true freshman at LSU last year, played some for the Tigers, didn't record any stats, but 6'1", 207. He comes to West Virginia with, seemingly a really high end because of his past past recruiting acumen. So those 2 guys, and then there are 2 junior college guys that I think Mountaineers are really counting on to be significant players for them. One is Kendrick Triplett, shorter, squatty guy, 5'11", 211. He comes from Pearl River in Mississippi.
So a true slot guy there.
Yes, I would think a true slot guy there. Sometimes we think of them as short, fast guys, but we've seen in the past for West Virginia, I mean, not necessarily just tall guys, but stout guys as well that can break a tackle when you throw it, throw them something underneath. And then a kid who's supposed to be just a pure speed merchant, Keon Hutchinson, 6 foot, 178 pounds. He comes from Northwest Mississippi Community College. So those 2 JUCO guys, I think they're counting on, or at least hoping, will be significant factors. West Virginia also has a transfer in John Nieder from Connecticut. Bigger receiver, 6'2", 195, was a really productive quarterback in high school, but got to Connecticut and they immediately moved him to wide receiver. And he was good there last year, put up good numbers. Connecticut had the leading receiver in the country. Kid who was actually a transfer from Wisconsin a couple years ago. But Nieder was second behind him in receptions for the Huskies. So, where does he factor in? And then after that, you have all these true freshmen coming in, including Malachi Thompson from Nitro, who about as productive of a high school career as you'll ever find anywhere and everywhere. He's already enrolled in school, so we've seen true freshmen that can become immediate factors. Now, you've got all these older guys in front of him, so where do they need, the true freshmen? How much need is there for them? Wait and see, but admittedly, there's so many new faces at the receiver room. It's going to be really interesting just to find out and to see who can be productive there.
So if you had to pick 4 right now, who would they be?
Jaden Bray, DJ Epps, and then the 2 JUCO kids.
Francis?
No, not yet, because I think he's got to prove himself because he's still a redshirt freshman.
Okay.
Prince Strachan would be the 5th guy in there that I would put. Then Francis, not far behind. But I think the 2 JUCO kids, I mean, just again, based on pedigree, Bray, if he can just stay healthy we know that that's huge. And then Epps because of his past performance, albeit at Troy. But there's room for 6 or 7, and let them battle it out. But Strachan and Francis are right there, right after that list. But that's what spring is going to tell us, how this order shakes out.
Yeah, that's why they have the spring. Indeed. So there's your receiver breakdown on spring football eve.
Hopefully that was significant enough.
Yeah.
Knock that out in about 10 minutes. So.
And I'm sure you and Travis will go position by position Sunday night. Because you'll have
Travis is actually in Wheeling Sunday night.
Oh,
following
okay.
the
So
MEC
it'd be you and
championship.
Joe.
Joe and I, and we'll continue on with it because, like I said, having done a lot on the offensive line, just as fascinating there. And everybody knows, having watched West Virginia's struggles in the offensive front last year, how important rebuilding that group is going to be for West Virginia. And they've got guys. They brought guys in that look like they've got opportunities, but that's sort of the entire roster. A lot of new guys, guys that have pretty good pedigrees, but now let's see what they can do.
304 Talk 304, that's the text line. We'll take a break. We'll head to Hope Coliseum, get a preview of tonight's men's game, and we'll also hear post-game comments from WVU Baseball coach Steve Sabins following the Mountaineer loss today. Sitting at Statewide Sportsline, we're in the Health Plan studios since 1979. The Health Plan has called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The Health Plan.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The Health Plan. We are here for you.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Starting March 10th, Metro News brings you the 2026 West Virginia SSAC High School Basketball Championships, presented by Chick-fil-A.
First title for Spring Mills and boys basketball.
The best teams in the state will once again meet at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center to compete for the title in their respective classes. The girls' tournament runs March 10th through 14th. The boys play March 17th through the 21st. Catch all the games on the Metro News Radio Network and at WVMetroNews.com, where you'll also find up-to-the-minute scoring, stats, and brackets, the latest tournament news, and game recaps. Also, you can watch the live HD video streams of the class championships both Saturdays on Metro News Television.
The luck and skill of the Irish, they win the AA championship.
The 2026 West Virginia SSAC State High School Basketball Championships beginning March 10th, presented by Chick-fil-A, exclusively on Metro News, the voice of high school basketball in West Virginia. Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
New year, new trucks. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia.
The High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Underway in Kansas City, Fairmont's Marley Washington hit a 3 just seconds into the game.
Got them going
Got
for
them
the
going.
Sun Devils, but West Virginia's come back, tied the game. It's 5-5, 2 minutes in.
All right, so 5-5 West Virginia and Arizona State early on in that contest. 8 o'clock tonight, Hope Coliseum, West Virginia against UCF, the regular season finale for the Mountaineer men. And with us is Brad Howe from the Coliseum. Good evening.
Good evening, boys. This is pretty fun. I'm talking to you from outside, and I'm not sure I want to go in yet. It's beautiful out here.
Tailgating, are you? You know, some burgers and all that stuff?
Well, I am not, Greg, but the student gate is hopping. I mean, there's music. I don't know if there's a DJ over there or that's self-DJ'd by the students, but they have catered food over there. They're kicking some music. So, yeah, it's a little tailgating happening before senior night here.
All right, so we may have some atmosphere in the building.
I think we will, Kyle. I mean, it's a sold-out game, and certainly Saturday's the best night of the week to play. But I think this Friday night's going to be good. I think the people are already filing in.
Oh, Brad stepped out of cell service there.
So,
there
yeah, I think it'll be a good night tonight.
So, Brad, I mean, the one thing that would really accentuate a good night is a good victory. So what's that going to take for the Mountaineers?
Yeah, wouldn't that be the case, Greg? Try and close out for these seniors tonight and get a win here against UCF. So, a couple different things. I think how much of the game from Orlando can you pick up and move forward? That was just a tremendous performance on both ends of the floor. So it starts always does defensively. His ability to make life difficult for Themis Folks was a key in that first game. It had him with a game-high 6 turnovers. He made some shots in the second half, but each of them was a really tough shot. So the defense was outstanding in the first meeting. And then on the offensive side, stop me if you've heard this before, multiple guys scoring in double figures. Jasper was a key there with 3 threes, finishes with 17 points. Someone to go along with Honor Huff, who had a game-high 21, but it took him a little bit to get going as the defense was all over him per usual. So which of those things can come through again? Can you get on the offensive glass? You did a nice job of that in Orlando. Can that revise itself and get a good performance on the glass tonight? That'll be critical as well.
Yes, Central Florida, UCF averages, about 82, 83 points per game. West Virginia held them to 67. They seem to be playing a little bit better offensively than they were the first time around. So can you hit some shots and outscore this team?
Yeah, well, we'll see, because I still think it comes back to defense. I think part of the reason you're seeing them play better offensively than they did against West Virginia is because of the defenses they've faced. They really struggled with West Virginia. And, it's one of the more bizarre stats coming out of that first game. We should mention this because it was critical to the defense. Harlan Obioha had the best plus-minus for West Virginia in that game, and he didn't score a single point. That's how valuable he was offensively. So that's a part of it. This isn't, to me, about outscoring UCF. It's about locking them up and forcing them to play your style, which you did in Orlando, and it really frustrated them. You could see that come through at the end of the game. Now, they're coming off a game, and Kyle, it's an interesting point you make, because they're coming off a game in which they put up more than 100 points and lost the game to Oklahoma State. They got into an NBA All-Star game situation where they're going up and down the floor. Defense was optional, and there was a lot of scoring. Now they've got to turn around and play a completely different style tonight. So I wonder how that will affect the Knights, going from a team in Oklahoma State that wouldn't guard them to a team tonight that's going to be all over them and put some defense right up on them.
So senior night at the Coliseum, and in today's world, it's like, hey, we hardly got to know you. A roster of players that have been here 9 months, I guess, at the most. But I did see something in terms of all of major college basketball, major level. There are 22 fourth or fifth year seniors that are going through senior night this weekend. There's one in the entire SEC. So, it's not just West Virginia, but your thoughts on this senior group? My impression of them, there's some great kids in this group. Would you like them to be more successful? Sure, but still it's a good group.
Yeah, it's an amazing stat, isn't it, with those 22 seniors? There's only 5 of those guys in the Big 12 that have played all 4 years at the same school. Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm a sucker for senior night, Greg. I always have been, and I know it's different and it looks different now, and I doubt we'll see a replay of our friend Alex Ruoff coming down the carpet, unable to hold it together in what was one of the more emotional scenes we've seen on a senior night. I don't know that it'll rise to that level of emotion, but just personally, I'll just speak to personal thoughts on these guys. This has been a wonderful group. I've been around Mountaineer teams for a long time, and this is as good a group of character guys as I've been around. Wonderful guys, and we talked about it on Ross's show last night. I have a tremendous amount of respect for all of them because they all had other choices, guys. They could have gone many other places. Honor Huff had a million different options, and they all chose to come here to West Virginia and represent this school and wear the gold and blue, and they've given you everything they have. Yeah, would you like them to make a few more shots in a couple games? Sure you would. But this is a wonderful group of guys that gave everything they've had since early June up until now as this weather has turned here in March. So I'm hoping they get a good reception tonight. I'm excited to watch these guys go out one more time. As I said, they all just filed past me just now, and it was a chance to see all of them. They're excited to take one more swing here in front of 12,000 people in this building, or 13,000 people, and give it one more run here inside Hope Coliseum.
Now, the big question after tonight is the seeding. Of course, you need to win the game, go out and win the game. But seeding and matchups, whether you can get a bye next week in the Big 12 Conference Tournament, and we might have to wait, Brad, until late Saturday. This is the only Friday game. All the other games are Saturday. Now, it would be simple if West Virginia wins and then TCU beats Cincinnati. The way I understand it, in that case, West Virginia would get the 7th seed, which would give them one of those byes. But if one of those two things doesn't happen, we're going to have to wait probably till after midnight when Texas Tech and BYU finish up Saturday night.
Yeah, correct. Pretty interesting here. You still have a chance to finish 8th, too. So if you win, you get a bye. So really, if you just want to niche it down and be simple and don't worry about matchups, if West Virginia wins the game tonight, it gets a first-round bye in the NCAA tournament, which, again, guys, we'll recap this if and when that happens because that's also pretty amazing for this group. Again, first-year coach, all-new roster. There were some lean years in the previous 6 years leading into the last couple. So if you turn around and find a way to get a bye in the toughest league in America, I think that is quite an accomplishment for this particular group. But, yeah, it takes a win tonight, and then we'll worry about the matchup. But you said it right there. You'll be watching Cincinnati to see if they lose. That group right there, the Cincinnati, UCF, West Virginia, and BYU, the good news for West Virginia is you own the tiebreaker over all of those, assuming you get that win over UCF, and that's what propels you to a 7 or 8 seed. So I think that's the best way to look at it. Go in, take care of your business tonight, get a win, know you've got a bye and that you won't be playing the first day of the tournament, and then you take your swings from there.
Yeah, bye gets you a little bit more rest. You wouldn't start until Wednesday rather than Tuesday, so that would help.
Indeed. Well, all right, Brad, we appreciate your time. Thanks for your input, and enjoy the game tonight.
Okay, guys, we'll talk soon. Thanks.
Brad Howe from Hope Coliseum, where West Virginia faces UCF, coming up a little bit later on tonight. They just took a break in the women's game.
Yeah, Arizona State has an 11-9 lead over West Virginia, just a little over 5 minutes in. As you said, they get the first media timeout. Sun Devils have turned the ball over 5 times, but when they haven't turned the ball over, they've made shots, and have made enough shots to take a lead against the Mountaineers.
I did there on that floor with all the graphics and all that, and it's not your typical hardwood, obviously. I did see Jordan Harrison slip down, just flat out slip down once. So there's been a few complaints about it. Looks good. I mean, it looks good on TV. It does what it does. But there have been a few complaints about it being a little bit slick, and at least one Mountaineer has slipped. They didn't call her for traveling. One of the Arizona State players reached down and tied her up. It was a dual possession ultimately, and West Virginia kept the ball, but at least one instance of a player slipping on that floor. 304 Talk 304. We'll take a break. We'll listen in on the post-game comments from WVU Baseball coach Steve Sabins when we return to the Health Plan Studios on the CityNet statewide Sportsline.
Getting ghosted is never fun, especially by your network. Cyber threats don't announce themselves. They slip in quietly, disrupt operations, and disappear before you know what happened. CityNet's cybersecurity services provide proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert response, so your business stays connected and protected. Commit to a relationship built on trust and reliability. Learn more at citynet.net today. And remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
The Mountain East Conference men's and women's basketball tournament returns to Wheeling from March 4th through the 8th. West Banco Arena will serve as the host of one of the nation's premier basketball leagues, featuring one of the highest scoring conferences in America. Action begins on Wednesday, March the 4th, and concludes on Sunday, when 2 champions will be crowned. For advance tickets, go to westbancoarena.com. Visit mountaineast.org for tournament information. The 2026 Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships, presented by the Health Plan.
On the next State of Minds.
I came here to Morgantown, the WVU. I wanted to play football. Tried to walk on, but I was humbled very quickly. So I joined the WVU forestry team. What my father taught me was the importance of hard work and the importance of sweat equity.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
CityNet statewide Sportsline. Again, Mountaineer baseball team defeated today at home by Columbia. And West Virginia falls in game 1 of that series. Final score 7-4. Post-game reaction from WVU head coach Steve Sabins.
Yeah, first Friday night game we lost. Dawson wasn't quite as sharp as he's been. He's been incredible for us and got hit a little bit. He hasn't been hit, I think, for a really long time in his career. Columbia did a nice job. They squared up some balls. They challenged us. We had some opportunities throughout the game. I thought we ran ourselves out of a big inning, a big opportunity there. Guys played tough. A little bit of press today, I think. I think they really came out wanting to play. They were excited to play. And I thought when we got down early, maybe a little press offensively. Good pitcher, really good. He's a sophomore, big-bodied dude, 94, 96. He's got plus stuff. He was out of the zone a little bit, but he always kind of got back in the zone. So effectively non-commanded, essentially, but did a nice job. He's their ace. He's their guy. He did a great job for them today.
Steve, with Dawson, it looked like he was able to get ahead of some guys, but had trouble getting that last pitch to get out of that bats. Did you notice anything there?
Yeah. His fastball today had cut on it, so the velocity was good. It was, 93, 96 like it traditionally is, but it was really cutting on him, and so that affected his curveball. It affected his splitter. His cutter was different today. Everything was kind of taken off glove side, and so he just didn't have feel. And normally that's one of the most athletic players on our team, position player or pitcher. That's his best attribute, is like so much feel. He knows where the ball's going. He can mix with different pitches. And so he just didn't quite have that feel. So usually that comes from finger placement on the ball. And it was just a little bit different today.
Coach, another day where Gavin Kelly was pretty successful, top of the lineup. How important has his impact been, especially as a sophomore? I mean, he's one of the best hitters on the team currently.
Yeah, he's one of the best hitters out there, in my opinion. And he was right on the barrel. He started the game off, obviously, with a double, missed a home run by a couple feet, but he was on the barrel all day. It was felt like inch away from hitting a home run basically every at-bat today. We had one hit between Kelly and Einich today, and that's been unusual for us. Those guys have really been fire starters for our offense, and so just didn't quite get in rhythm. Today, I think we ended up having 5 hits and 4 walks. So just not a ton of traffic, not a ton of pressure. I thought we made it fairly comfortable for them.
Was that Kelly's decision, or was it your decision to steal home in that first inning?
That was my decision. Yeah, we thought we saw something with 2 outs, 2 strikes against that particular pitcher. We had a scouting report that we believed in, and he did a really nice job. Stayed calm, stepped off, threw a strike with 2 outs, 2 strikes. Batting average possibilities go way down, obviously, so took a risk there early.
Steve, even though Dawson wasn't sharp on 4, was he getting 4 innings, so you have to burn through the whole thing?
Yeah, it's incredible, and that's what competitors do. Even when you don't have it, being able to go back out there and continue to compete. I think he ended up getting to 80 pitches today, and he kind of needed that. Last week he was over 100, and then going into conference next week, it's nice that he was able to keep his pitch down a little bit. He's a guy that's traditionally can go 100, 115 pitches fairly comfortably, but I thought it was the right opportunity to get Korn the ball, and Korn did a nice job today. He really kept us in that game and neutralized the game. We were making a run at it and ended up going with Bassinger just because I think the team felt like we have an opportunity to win any game up down 2, down 3, down 4. We wanted to kind of throw the best guys and really have an opportunity to win the game, and we had a few of those in the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
That felt like maybe Korn's best outing so far?
I agree. No doubt about it. I thought he was crisp, and it was his longest outing. It was the least amount of traffic. He had 3 strikeouts in 3 innings. I thought he took a big step forward today.
What was the biggest difference for him then compared to his previous outings?
I think confidence and being able to go back out there. His outings were a little bit shorter, so he'd given up more hits in his previous outings. So right away there was some traffic. There was a little bit more base runners on. So I thought he was able to get some quicker outs and kind of minimize his pitch count. He found a slider this week that he really liked. He changed his grip on the slider, and he thinks that pitch is playing better.
Mountaineer baseball coach Steve Sabins, their post-game thoughts. I know he couldn't hear the questions, but covered a lot of ground there. West Virginia's pitchers with Dawson Montesa had the inning where he gave up 5 runs, but stayed in the game. Pitched 2 more innings beyond that. Pitched pretty well, got better, threw 80 pitches. Ian Korn was the first out of the pen with 57 pitches, and then he explained the thinking behind using Reese Bassinger in game 1 of this series when you're behind. And again, the offense explained the situation with the attempted steal of home not working out, at least in this instance, and West Virginia getting just 5 hits and 4 walks. There was at least 1 hit by pitch, 2 hit by pitches. So again, not many base runners at all. Total of 11 base runners in that game. And not a lot of traffic on the bases, and basically you trailed the whole game too.
Yeah, exactly. Never had the lead, and that 5-run inning for Columbia really proved to be the big difference in this one. By the way, in terms of scores right now, West Virginia's women's team ended the first quarter in the quarterfinal action against Arizona. Mountaineers have a very slim 18-17 lead over the Sun Devils. Sun Devils actually led for a good portion of this, but West Virginia finished on a bit of a run, takes a 1-point lead into the second half.
All right, we got some texts here. A little consternation about the baseball loss today. Texter says no excuse for losing to a 1-win lower mid-major team, particularly at home. And let's see, another bad baseball loss today. Any sense that the kerfuffle in the dugout after the Kennesaw State weekend resulting in the dismissal of Chase Meyer is a bigger problem than advertised? Well, I'd say this. I mean, it's a 56-game season, and this is one loss. I mean, not to dismiss it. It's not good when you lose Friday night at home, certainly, but it's a long season.
Baseball, you're going to lose games, right?
304 Talk 304, and let's see. We got some text spilling over from the previous show, too. We got some information from a listener about, at least according to Brad Powers, the least returning starters for Division I football. Iowa State has none. Oklahoma State has 2. Arizona State has 3. Colorado 3. Penn State 3. West Virginia 3. So most of those are Big 12 conference schools. That's interesting.
A lot of them. Others with some of the coaching turnover, Iowa State. Most of their starters are at Penn State, so that's why the Nittany Lions have so few. But, 3 starters from the final game of the season for West Virginia, all on offense. Scotty Fox and then 2 offensive linemen, and Nick Cray and Landon Livingston. That's it. Not a single starter on the defense. It's back from that regular season finale.
Yeah, hard to believe. A couple of high school basketball notes. The games we talked about last night, George Washington knocked off Morgantown, that 1-2 matchup. And how about Greenbrier East? We talked about that controversy there with the seeding and Capital forced to go on the road, a Capital team that had been number 1 or number 2 in our Metro News poll pretty much all year, and Capital loses on the road at Greenbrier East in the regional semifinals. So it'll be Greenbrier East playing on the road at Shady Spring in that regional final for a trip to the state tournament.
Yeah, so Capital, I'm sure that they're going to hold that grudge for quite a while.
Indeed. By the way, Tudor's Biscuit World sponsoring the Metro News High School Basketball Power Poll, which is updated and out. It was updated after the games last night, and you can access that poll at WVMetroNews.com. If you want to see where your team ranks, check out the Tudor's Biscuit World Power Rankings at WVMetroNews.com. The rankings presented by Tudor's Biscuit World. And George Washington, after beating Morgantown, a unanimous number 1 in Quad A. Morgantown is 2. Spring Mills went on the road at University last night, number 3. Washington 4. Then Parkersburg South University, Musselman, Buchanan Upshur, Riverside, and Cabell Midland in Quad A. Triple A, again with Capital getting beat. Their season is over now. Chapmanville unanimous number 1, followed by North Marion, Bridgeport, Capital at 4. Then Winfield and Ripley, followed by East Fairmont. Greenbrier East in there at number 8. Class AA, Wheeling Central, a unanimous number 1, followed by Wyoming East, James Monroe, Charleston Catholic, and Doddridge County. Single A, Tug Valley with 8 of the 10 first-place votes. Number 1, Greater Beckley Christian, number 2. Parkersburg Catholic, number 3. Then East Hardy, St. Joe's, Sherman, Clay Battelle, Pendleton County, Ritchie County, and Man. That's the complete top 10 in Single A. You can access that poll at WVMetroNews.com.
Leave the air. West Virginia up 23-19 in its quarterfinal round action on the women's tournament in Kansas City.
All right. Again, all of the games from the Mountain East Conference tournament tonight and all weekend at the Metro News TV app. The girls' state tournament is next week. All of the regional finals in all 4 classes are over. You can see all those brackets at the website as well. Greg and Joe, right?
Yep.
Sunday night. We'll be back with you Sunday night. Thanks for listening and watching the CityNet Statewide Sportsline.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.